I worked the graveyard shift at a late-night radio station, right in the heart of a major American city. From midnight to 6 a.m., it's just me and the hum of the equipment. Most of the time, the station runs itself on automated playlists and pre-recorded bits. My job is just to be there, a warm body in a chair, in case of technical emergencies or system failures. But last Tuesday, something else happened. Something that broke through the normal broadcast. Something that shouldn't exist. It all started at exactly 3:33 a.m. I was nodding off in the booth, the soft glow of the console the only thing keeping me from drifting completely. Suddenly, the music just stopped, mid-song. The abrupt silence was jarring. It lasted for maybe 3 seconds. Then a wave of static washed over the airwaves. And then, a voice. It sounded like a child, but it was all wrong. The quality was bizarre, like a recording being played forward and backward at the same time. The words twisting and overlapping. The voice was distorted, but the words were clear. "Can you hear me? I've been calling for so long. Please, someone answer. I'm still in the house." That last sentence, "I'm still in the house," began to loop. It got faster and faster, pitching higher and higher until it was no longer words, just a raw, piercing scream. And then, silence. Just as abruptly as it began, it was over. The scheduled song picked right back up, as if nothing had ever happened. My heart was pounding in my chest. I scrambled to check the equipment, my hands shaking. I ran diagnostics, checked the logs for any unauthorized access, any system errors. Nothing. There was absolutely no record of the interruption, no technical glitch, no outside signal hijacking our frequency. It was as if it never happened. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I was overtired. Maybe I'd finally hallucinated from the sheer monotony. I logged the incident in the station's report book, describing it as a brief, unexplained signal interruption with vocal distortion, and tried my best to put it out of my mind. But the next night, it happened again. The clock on the console ticked over to 3:33 a.m., and like clockwork, the broadcast cut out. The same dead air, the same hiss of static. Then, the child's voice returned. Clearer this time, more direct. "Hello? Can you hear me now? I can see you through the signal." A cold dread washed over me as the voice began to describe what I was wearing. My gray hoodie, the logo on my coffee mug, the way I was leaning back in my chair. Details it couldn't possibly know. "I've been trapped here for many years," the voice continued, its tone shifting from curious to desperate. "They put me inside the walls. My name is Sophie. I just want to go home." Then came the screaming. It was different this time. It wasn't a digital loop. It was wet, choking, inhuman. The sound of pure terror and agony filled the studio for 30 agonizing seconds before the broadcast snapped back to the scheduled programming. I couldn't ignore it anymore. This wasn't a hallucination. Shaking, I opened my laptop and started searching. Child named Sophie disappeared, trapped in walls. My search led me to an old, archived news report from years ago. A missing child case that had gone cold. A little girl named Sophie who had vanished from her home without a trace. Same name, same age. They never found her. I felt sick. I immediately reported everything to my station manager, telling him about the voice, the name, the details. He listened, but I could see the disbelief in his eyes. He dismissed it as a prank, a clever signal pirate, and told me not to worry about it. No one took me seriously. On the third night, I was terrified, but I was also determined to get proof. I brought a digital audio recorder with me. I sat in the booth, staring at the clock, my hand hovering over the record button. 3:33 a.m. The signal died. The voice came through, but this time the desperation was gone. It was replaced with cold, chilling anger. "You told them. You shouldn't have done that." The voice was sharp, accusatory. "This isn't your world anymore. This is the space between signals." The voice then claimed it could see the listeners, that it was inside their homes, watching them through their own radios. Almost immediately, the station's phone lines lit up. Every single one. I could see the caller IDs flashing with panicked messages. People were crying, terrified, saying they felt a presence, that they felt like they were being watched. The voice of Sophie continued, no longer sounding like a single child. "We aren't alone here," it said, its tone dropping. "Everyone lost through sound. Everyone forgotten. We're all here now." Suddenly, a deafening explosion of static erupted from every speaker in the studio, so loud I had to cover my ears. And underneath that wall of noise, I could hear whispers, hundreds, maybe thousands of them, all murmuring at once, their voices weaving together until they merged into one single, terrifying sentence. "Let us out." The power in the entire station died. The console went dark. The emergency lights failed. I was plunged into total darkness and silence, and in that silence, I heard it. Breathing. It wasn't coming from one place. It was coming from everywhere. From the walls, from the dead equipment. From places sound shouldn't exist. My phone, which had been dead, suddenly lit up in my hand. A single text message on the screen. It wasn't from anyone in my contacts. It just said, "Don't let anyone listen tomorrow. We're almost through." I quit that night. I didn't even bother to write a letter of resignation. I just grabbed my jacket and walked out, leaving the station dark and silent behind me. I thought that by leaving, I could escape it. I was wrong. It didn't matter that I wasn't there. The next day, at exactly 3:33 a.m., it wasn't just my old radio station. It was every device. Radios, phones, televisions, smart speakers. They all interrupted their regular functions at once, and Sophie's voice came through, clear as day, but she wasn't alone anymore. A chorus of whispers echoed behind her words. "Thank you for listening," she said, a voice filled with a triumphant, sinister joy. "Thank you for opening the door." Soon after, people started disappearing. It was quiet at first. 1 or 2 reports on the news. Then more. There were never any signs of a struggle. No evidence, no witnesses. They were just gone. But their voices came back, broadcasting at 3:33 a.m. from that space between signals. New voices joining the chorus, begging to be found, begging to be let out. The warnings are everywhere now, spreading across the internet in hushed tones. Do you want to listen at 3:33? Do you want to answer strange signals? Don't stream late at night, but it's spreading. Anything that can carry a signal can carry them. Last night, my laptop screen turned on by itself. The screen filled with static, and a face began to form. It was Sophie. She was staring out at me, a faint, cold smile on her lips. "We're home now," she whispered, and behind her, in the swirling static, I could see them. Countless figures, their faces distorted in silent screams, their hands pressing against the inside of my screen, as if it were a pane of glass, trying to push their way through. My phone just buzzed on the table beside me. I looked at the time. It's 3:32 a.m. It's buzzing again. An unknown number. I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to look. But it's too late. I can already hear them whispering through the tiny speaker. Softly, at first, but they're getting louder, and they're saying, "My name